the publication, The Atlantic, they just did a big write-up on how it's already hard to remember what people did to fill their time before smartphones existed.
What?
I had a lot of room time. Like I would listen to music and watch HBO and paint and write.
Well, and now you're scrolling through TikTok looking at dummies jump off of boats.
Yeah.
When you have nothing to do, I mean, you first thing you do is pull out your phone. So the question is, what did people fill their time with before smartphones existed?
Rearrange your house, your room, paint your room.
Invented things?
Yeah.
Like the internet?
Clubhouse.
I mean, I played video games. When I was a kid.
We walked all throughout town.
Went outside.
Hey, you got on your bike, and
Yeah,
we called it
were gone.
adventuring. We called it exploring. Like me and my best bud would be like, "Hey, man, what do you want to do today?" And if we didn't have like a specific, like, let's go play soccer at the church, or let's go play street hockey at the school, it was let's go exploring, and that meant we're gonna get on our bikes and just ride.
Yeah.
We're just riding.
Till you found somebody you knew. Like, I mean, that was the best thing. Like 1993, on a bike, riding, summers just going. Mom had no idea where I was.
Right.
Meeting up with, oh, hey, let's go to Dale's house. All right, cool. Dale might not be home.
Yeah.
If Dale's not home, we go to somebody else's
And
house.
if instructed to check in, I'd have 2 quarters in my pocket to use the payphone.
Yeah, and you know what I was thinking about the other day? Not to be like the old guy that's like, kids are soft. I would just go out in the woods by myself
Yeah.
all the time. Deep woods. I'd have my dog. He was a cool dog. He'd go out there with me. But if I couldn't find one to hang out with, they didn't keep me home.
Right.
There were trails. I'd ride my bike down these trails out in the woods. I'd get in a creek. And I was like, man, I wonder if kids would even walk into the woods alone today.
Well, it's funny because there were a bunch of people at our house last night, a bunch of neighbors and their kids were over our house to celebrate, my daughter's birthday. And we have woods behind our house. The kids ran into the woods, just it's summer evening, hanging out, playing tag, whatever. And once they came out of the woods, every one of the moms was on top of the kids going, tick check,
Yeah.
tick check, tick check.
Never thought of ticks when I was a kid.
Tick check.
TikTok, new kind of TikTok.
Yeah.
Stop smothering these kids.
Welcome back to TikTok.
I never had any ticks on me as a kid.
Tick check.
I'm your host, Timmy's mother.
Yeah, we used to call it looking for aliens. My girlfriend and I would go in the woods and we'd find these weird rocks and be like, oh, this is aliens,
Yeah.
and have
You
this
make
whole
up a story.
imagination.
Yeah, we found
It was
arrowheads.
awesome.
Oh, yeah, dude. There was I remember there was, dude, we made all you wanted as a kid was to have your Goonies adventure.
Yes.
That's all you wanted. I mean, I still want it today. I remember someone spray painted a pentagram on the trestle, the railroad track trestle at the creek we all
Satanists.
played at. And we were like, dude, there's devil worshippers in our town.
Yes.
And so me and my
We need
buddies,
to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, exactly. And we went to the Army surplus store and got matching black berets, like the Frog Brothers and Lost Boys. And I took a can of spray paint and was like, this Halloween, we're coming for you. And I was like, we were just inventing this because there was this old abandoned church that was at the end of a road in Dowell. And then we found some bones there. And I'm pretty sure they were just a dead rabbit that had died nearby. But we're like, these bones were used from the occult, dude.
That's right.
We were just talking ourselves into this, and it was so fun. And we had we had planned how we were going to go there with our BB guns and break up this devil worshipping cult on Halloween night. And then my buddy Mike, who was the arms dealer, he had all the good pellet guns, got grounded. Oh, and we were like, this is
Unarmed?
this is bad. And we're like, can you sneak off and leave the guns in a culvert for us? That was our big plan.
My girlfriend Rhiannon and her dad, before he died, built her this treehouse in the backyard. It wasn't actually on trees, it was on stilts. So I guess it was a stilt house. And we used to have slumber parties in that stilt house, and it had this trap door that you opened on the side because you climbed up this ladder to get through the floor is how you got into this thing. And there was a futon up there. It was so cool.
Dang.
Open up a trap door and you could peer into the forest. And so one night, this is back whenever I was really into Celtic magic. I was open. I was in a trance. I was open that door. There's a spirit in the forest, and I kid you not. In fact, the people that were there that night would attest to what they saw. We opened up a trap door, dark forest, glowing figure. It was bizarre, and that haunted us
That
for the
changed me.
rest
Yeah.
of our lives.
Dude, with the creating the adventures and all that, the step up was when you finally got a set of walkie-talkies.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no walkie-talkies, my friend. We got. Do you remember when it came out? It was like after Navy SEALs came out, they sold these like, it was like hands-free communicators.
Oh, the headset things.
The headsets. We
never
had
worked.
those. My buddy and they.
With the microphone?
Yeah, they had
With
just.
the
They're like a
microphone that
big
came over
gray
your
set
mouth?
of headphones with a big mic that came down in your mouth.
That would have been sweet.
Yeah.
The first,
We had them.
Yeah,
the first set of walkie-talkies that we got, it was like one of those prizes at the arcade. You had to get X amount of tickets, and like we're like, oh, dude, we're gonna save up. We're gonna come here all the time. We're gonna save up our tokens. We saved up so many tickets, and by the time we realized what the price was for these things, we're like, why don't we just save up for like 2 months our $2 allowances and cut
And
the
actually,
grass?
I like decent ones.
Yeah. And so we ended up buying them, and I think that lasted maybe a week. We used them a whole bunch.
Sure.
Lost batteries. Realized it didn't work. It didn't work house to house like the movies.
No. Didn't work. It didn't work 20 feet away behind a tree.
We
But
had
the
some that
mission of
worked
getting those
a
was
little
great.
too good. We had some that worked a little too good. We were playing basically kind of like a hide and seek, but it was in greater downtown Shelbina. And this was probably at midnight or something. We were running around this bank area hiding, and we had the walkie-talkies for each team. And all of a sudden, the cops, pulled he saw my buddy and I, so he made us come over and talk to him. He's like, "What's going on over here? Why are you guys hanging out here?" And at the same time, on the walkie-talkie, our buddies are like, "Bolt, 50, 50." Got to run. You're like, crap. And they had no clue we were sitting there talking to the cops, so he
Yeah.
thought we were up to no good, and it was pretty fun.
Which you were, I'm sure.
Yeah, we were.
So, all right. So without smartphones, I played a lot of video games when I was a kid. Does Tim still play video games?
No. We don't have anything like that at our house.
He's a grown-up?
He's a grown up. He does like the Wordle, and he does
Wow.
like
No,
what
but
is
does he have like a video game
Hell
system?
no. I didn't. No thanks.
No thanks
Big
for you.
Sudoku man, is he?
He is.
No thanks for you.
Yeah.
He's like,
That's hot.
My husband's not going to be playing video games.
No, but that's just not who we are. Like, and I'm not dogging it. I just have never been.
Sounds like you're dogging it.
I loved Sega Game Gear and Game Boy, and that was where my love of the video games stopped.
Well, video games was never a girl thing.
What? How dare you? Of course it was.
I wouldn't know. I didn't have any girls in my sphere.
I never. And listen, I'm sure girls played video games when they were younger, but
They still do. Oh my God. Let me introduce you to some people in Belleville. My gosh. Some of the closest girlfriends in my life are big gamers.
Yeah, I didn't.
Big old nerds.
I didn't
Really
know.
stepped in at this time, pal.
I never. Hey, listen. As
No,
a boy,
when I was growing
listen,
up,
he grew
no
up with a
girls.
brother. I grew up with a brother. So like, as far as it looked like, they were only even marketed to
right.
boys.
I didn't have a sister.
So that's what I assumed. Honestly, it's kind of just what I assumed.
This is like the
until-
band Rush. Everybody thinks like there's no female Rush fans.
Honestly, this was my perspective when I was younger.
Yeah, that was our experience. And then
Okay.
the funny thing is, somebody brought over one of those like Raspberry Pi things with all the Nintendo games. And you know who was most excited?
Who?
My wife.
There you go.
She goes, oh, "This has got the Battletoads.
In
this has
my
got this." And I was
world-
like, "Who are you?
we had to
this
play
is
the
amazing."
video games to make out with the
In
guys.
my world, there were no girls that played video games.
Dude, this is where the manic pixie dream girl fantasy came from. Is from guys having no clue what women are into. So the character in the movies in like the early aughts of like, she plays guitar and video games. She's the perfect woman. Like, I didn't even know this girl existed. And
Rafe,
it's
in
just-
your world growing up, were there girls that played video games? It
Yeah.
was not. Listen.
Hey.
Okay, maybe
Maybe it wasn't as
Yeah,
prevalent.
we're just
I don't
saying we
think
just didn't
games
know.
were really marketed to girls.
I had a sister.
Also, a lot of them were like violent shoot 'em up games. That was kind of the first. But I mean, I remember going to like lock-ins and playing like Mario Brothers 3 with.
Right. But like from our experience, we weren't seeing like the don't let your sister get her hands on your copy of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
And see, I love
I mean,
Sonya.
it was marketed that way. That's what I'm
I was
saying.
all about Mortal
I mean, I didn't
Kombat.
think girls were home playing with Barbies all the time. I just didn't know what they did.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Me
What are
neither.
they
They made
doing
these
in there?
things, the
What are they-
cootie catchers, to destroy
What are
your
they
ego.
doing?
Yeah, we're
Probably
doing
writing in their diaries. I have no
fortunes.
idea.
Oh
Yeah.
hell yeah, we're
A lot
doing
of
all
seances.
We only
playing
knew what the
video
shows
games.
told us.
Yeah.
We got the
that's it.
fortune teller paper thing, origami. We're at the Scott's house
Ouija boards.
playing Sega Mortal Kombat, trying to make out with Scott.
Thank you.
We were
guys.
doing it all.
All I just knew is you guys smelled nice, and we played video games. That's
Okay,
it.
that's all
it.
right. I'm
Again,
not
I
trying to
know-
dog your
No,
experience. I'm sorry.
You're right. Because like Moon, I had no
didn't know.
sisters.
I
I
didn't
feel
know.
bad.
I was naturally afraid of you.
I still am.
How many seances?
How many have
Did
I
you-
had?
have you
Please,
had-
I'm having
as-
them once a weekend.
But as a
We played light
tween.
as a feather, stiff as a board every slumber
Oh,
party
yeah.
for 8 years straight.
You know, somebody brought up a point where, you know, guys who are our age, like we're gamers when we were younger, played, you know, Nintendo and Sega Genesis and PlayStation. Now they're older and they still play video games. Like every once in a while I'll hop down with my son and, you know, we'll play hockey or,
That's great.
you know, and stuff. But, you know, like Call of Duty is still something that's big for guys that are in their 30s and 40s. Like guys will leave their families, lock themselves in their basements, put their headsets on,
yeah.
and do that. And some women are just like, you know, grow up.
Yeah.
Some, like I go back to, I have a
Grow
couple
up.
friend in Belleville and they both are into VR, and if you ever go over to their house, like they're like, oh, put our VR and we got this new game. And I'm just so not of that world anymore. I never was. I put it on and my mind is completely blown. It does,
Yeah.
you know.
Cool.
And so I don't know.
Do you think it's weird that grown men play video games? Honestly.
I do.
Yeah, it's to me. I don't want to judge. I don't want to judge
go
these
ahead.
people.
It doesn't
I'm going
matter.
to
You're
judge.
not
All right,
judge-
here
you're
we
not
go.
judge. Just-
Yeah, I think it's strange. I don't. I don't get into it, and so for me, like it's not something that I would do daily, like 4 times a day, like it seems to be happening.
And that's a generational thing. We're the old people. We're the last generation that's going to think that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
You're
because
probably
video
right.
games
Well-
were created for kids when we were kids, so we understand them as a child's game.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And the next generation that has been playing and growing up with this, guys, it's a $200 billion industry.
But somebody.
it's
Yeah.
not a $200 billion
going
Here's
Mario Brothers industry.
I agree with you to an extent, but here's where I'll push back. I think we're the first generation that didn't put away our childish things. And I'm not saying that's good or bad, because I know a lot of dudes our age still playing D&D, still playing tabletop, still going down to the comic book shop, collecting comics. Like we drug our childhood into our adulthood. And
Yes.
some of that it started to be catered to adults. I will agree with you there. I think video games, I think a lot of comic books, graphic novels are really like dark, violent themed.
I think it's, but that's also because the.
So it's not just video games.
I
is
don't
my
know.
point.
I disagree. I think we're probably just not able to see what our parents and their parents.
I wanna
generations
bring up
drag-
a
My
point.
dad smoked cigarettes and played pinochle. That was what
No, I want to bring up a point.
adult games were
But
then.
like, think about like Western movies. Like, how did those start off? Those were like little kid Western, Red Rider
And,
kind of
yeah,
vibe.
sure,
and then
and
my dad
cowboys
was
and Indians.
And then my dad was watching John Wayne.
But your dad didn't go outside in a cowboy hat and chaps and chase you around.
Hey,
you
he
know
He didn't
what I
wear
mean?
bottoms
Like,
when he did.
at
What's
least
your
I hope
point?
he didn't.
My point is remember model trains?
Yes.
Yeah.
Adults, like the next generation step up from us, they used to play with model trains.
But what did you think of the guy
And
that
still
had
do.
model trains?
Dork.
and still do.
Do they?
I think they're rad.
Sure, man. That like those Lionels or whatever. Like those. That's an expensive hobby.
Do you know anybody our age that does that?
I know people that are a little bit older than us that do.
Well,
that.
my dad has
Older than us.
Well, yeah, because we have video games.
Right, that's my point.
My dad
So-
has a huge collection of them, so I haven't brought him up here yet, but I will definitely build a whole.
So we had video games, and the generation before us had model trains.
So video games
it's
are
the video game.
Way cooler.
model trains.
You need to get the e memoriam ready now. There's a guy on Instant Feedback named Chris who is just saying, if you think it's childish to play video games as an adult, I think there's something wrong with you. So
I can
prepare for the
understand.
email.
I can
the
understand how
problem
our
people-
generation thinks
And
that.
dude, I still
and we're
have.
still putting a stigma on it. but
my
it's-
thing
that
is I don't have
stigma's
time.
gone.
I'll be honest. Like my thing is like I had to cut something out. I never would play. I can't just sit down and play video games 10 hours a day. I don't have that kind of time. And video games now require that kind of commitment.
Oh yeah, it's a job.
Yeah.
It is.
It's a job, and if you're
That's
not
the
Like
doing
thing.
I
is
do
you
have a
can't
Switch,
compete
and I'll
on
be
it.
honest. I got the new Zelda. I've had it. Riz's son has it. He's wanted to know what I think about it
Yeah, he
for.
keeps saying, "Hey,
I've had
Rick,
it for a
play,
month.
Zelda
I
yet?"
haven't even played it yet because I'm just like I don't have time.
It's
Because
like
I know
reading.
that when I sit down to play Zelda, I'm going to get sucked in. And it's going to take, the tutorial alone is probably going to take me 4 hours to figure out all the new game mechanisms and the
Yeah.
mechanics.
Where it's also totally different though is it's like it's a communicator. It's getting people together. Where in a time where now we are attached to and we're working on our phones 24 hours a day. We don't have like 8 hours a day work. Now we're completely enveloped. We have to do side hustles. We have to do all these different
Sure.
things to like stay alive and all this. We're always communicating with work. This is a way where you and your friends male, female,
something else.
adult, whatever, can get together. It's a social thing.
It
so one of the
is.
reasons that I was
It-
playing Warzone for a while is because I was actually able to hang out with some folks that I didn't have time to hang out with
Sure.
otherwise.
All right, Lauren, would you prefer Call of Duty a couple hours a day or your husband in the basement playing with his toy trains?
Call of Duty. Just
Honey, come down to Sunshine Station.
If Tim had a model train set in our basement that he went down there and tinkered with, we'd not be together. It would be.
What if he wore
The man has a hobby.
No, it's not a hobby.
He puts on his engineer
The
outfit.
man has a hobby. It's not cool
For real,
enough for you?
What a boner killer, the model train.
What if he came upstairs with a little red bandana around his neck and a pinstriped engineer, and he's like, "Honey, come downstairs. I have a
No.
surprise for you."
I want him to run a train. I don't want him to play a train.
World.
No.
You need to look up what run a train means.
I don't think you know.
I don't think
don't
you know.
know.
Just from
Yeah,
dude.
the way you
You
said,
need to
I
look that
like
up
where you're
right
at.
What do
now.
you mean? It's
You
like
look
all
that
up.
sorts of dudes. Oh, God.
Look that up.
Gonna run a train on these chicken fingers. Isolate that. Put it on the soundboard.
That was pretty good. That was pretty
That's
good.
funny.
No, here's my husband. Yesterday, this is what's hot, okay? Here it is. Tim's in the garage all weekend long. What's he doing? He's building a cool bench. He's out there just, cutting up
Oh, out
wood.
there on the front porch whittling.
Yes, we're whittling wood. We're making a bench. Gorgeous. He's sweaty. It's all sawdust.
Sounds exciting.
That's what I want. Back to you.
Back to you. You know the new thing with video games is crazy? Because I got a couple buddies that are like hardcore 40-year-old gamers. The new thing now that is crazy to me, they're like, my friend has like actual anxiety from it because he's like, I'm playing this game, Escape from Tarkov, or I can't remember what it's called. Someone's going to correct me.
No.
immediately.
That's the one. I got buddies that are in that.
And he's like,
Dark hole
they're
as well.
playing this thing where if you die, that's
You
it.
lose all your stuff.
And you lose all your stuff that you've
That's-
accumulated.
I'm down with that.
And it's like, so whatever you've got in the game, it's like this level of the game where, like, if you go in and you get killed, you don't respawn. You lose like years worth of stuff.
Yeah,
That's
other
what I
people
love.
take your stuff.
That's it.
Jeez.
That
And-
would make me into it.
He was literally a ball of anxiety when he goes, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. I'm stressed. I'm like, dude, it's supposed to be fun,
Have
man.
you
This
seen
is
what's in my backpack?
Yeah, I'm like, this is supposed to be like a release from the stresses of life.
Yeah.
This is the cause of your stress.
That's
of
really
life.
impressive.
Dude, that's one of the reasons that I stopped doing it. Is because like people were so intense that I realized like, wow, this is affecting
I'm not on
me.
their level.
I'm super intense. Well, no, I'm like we were just getting so intense about it, and we weren't playing. We were playing like an hour, 2-3 nights a week, if that. And these people are playing 15 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
They're gonna
they're
clobber us.
pros.
It was
Were you
no
the
fun.
guy? What's the name of the guy? Who's like Robert Jenkins? Who's the
Leroy
Jenkins?
Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins. Yeah. And then he gets destroyed.
Yeah, it was fun until it was stress,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm out.
Well, just there are 3 billion gamers in the world. Most gamers, 38% of them are 18 to 34 years old. But yet, in our age range, 35 to 44, 433 million gamers
Yeah,
our
dude.
age.
It's a lot of money.
$100 billion industry.
Yeah, it's wild. Way cooler than toy trains, though. We've
Yeah.
come to that conclusion, right?
Well,
yeah.
less
Hey
creativity.
man,
I didn't have like.
stigma is a stigma.
Yeah, it's
I
less
didn't-
creativity than a train. At least you're building stuff and you're
Dorks.
coming up with your own
Well,
world.
Minecraft you can build an entire world.
Yeah, but you're
I don't
still
get that
limited.
game. I try to play that with. I played it because I love the kid. My ex girlfriend's kid. I love him. He's my son too. I love him to death. He loves Minecraft. I sit down and I'm like, my God, this is boring.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to
Boring
like.
as
He
hell.
loves it, so I'm trying to love it
Yeah, I
with him.
can't get into it.
I didn't have unlimited access. Like there was no. My video game time was very limited as a kid. For one thing, my dad hogged it. Yeah, he got it for us, and then he's like, "Sit down and watch me play Heavy Barrel," and he would make us watch him play because he kind of got into it.
Huh.
Because this was the beginning. This was like Sega Genesis.
Yeah,
dude. And my dad got it for us for Christmas, but then slowly kind of commandeered it.
Yeah.
Merry
I'm
Christmas.
like, dude, I don't want to watch you play. I'm
Watch
just
me
going to
get
go
these
to my room.
coins. As Sonic the Hedgehog.
So I spent a lot of time Choose Your Own Adventure books,
Oh, heck yeah.
Encyclopedia Brown, Boxcar Kids,
Yes.
a couple of what were the Hardy Boys,
Yeah.
and the internet back then was the J.C. Penney catalog, dude. I spent a lot of time thumbing through the toy section,
Yes.
thumbing through the brassiere section. I would go back and forth. But that was kind of the internet back then. It was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to look at boobies for a minute.
You chose
just-
your own adventure.
Yeah, you chose your own adventure. You thumb to the lingerie section, be like, all right, let's see. That was my Google, was just my lick your thumb and flick through, and then be like, all right, I'm going to go see I'm going to read the description of this Lego set. Maybe I want that for Christmas. It was just like fantasizing about having all the toys and all the boobs in the Sears catalog.
Yeah, when you got the toys and the boobs, it made it all more,
Yeah.
all the more fun.
It's the kid
That was
version of
the-
Sky Mall.
It was the internet of the late 80s, early
Yeah.
90s. It was the big, thick, what was it called? The Wish Book.
The Wish Book. Also,
Came out in the fall.
anybody's dads get Victoria's Secret catalogs mailed to their house for no reason because they're divorced and no woman's living there? Because that's how my childhood was. I'd be like, Dad, why is there a Victoria's Secret catalog here? Oh, well,
I don't know. My mom got Fredericks
previous
of
owner.
Hollywood, which is like slutty Victoria's Secret.
Fredericks of Hollywood?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that
hell
still
yeah.
around? I used to.
Bro, I used to-
Twisted Plaza.
Mall.
Yeah.
Man,
yeah,
I would
Over
try
by
to
the-
swipe them.
Fredwick,
Over by the toy store.
Fredwicks of Hollywood. I remember. I don't think I've ever been in one, but I know.
I never
It's
been in
still
one either.
around
It was
online.
2 doors down from the K Beats toy store.
Oh,
in
there was a
Crescent
brick and
Plaza.
mortar Fredericks here, huh?
Yeah, Crestwood
yeah.
Mall.
Wowee.
Yeah,
You
man.
missed out, pal.
Missed out on that.
Right by
Missed
the
out,
toy
pal.
store.
It was funky.
But is that high-end lingerie?
No,
I
it
have
was
no
kind of
idea. Never
trashier
been
than
there.
Victoria's.
No, it was
It's
low
in a
end.
great
Rock and
way.
roll.
Well, it made it
Little
sound
more rock and
Fredericks
roll.
of Hollywood. Woohoo.
It
well.
looked like one of those places you walk in and
It was like if Victoria couldn't keep a secret. You
and,
know what I mean?
and some beautiful woman says, "Would you like me to try it on for you?"
Oh,
To
really?
show you? I'm saying I don't know. Like that's what it
That's
looked
what it was
like.
in your head.
Well,
Yeah.
if you put,
what it was.
anything of a location, it sounds, like, ooh, White Castle of Fenton. Woohoo! Fancy. Must be one of those fancier White Castles.
This was just like a lot of very risque,
Yeah.
like crotchless panties.
'Cause if you-
The kind of stuff where the holes cut in the bra.
Yeah. Lots of holes everywhere.
Yeah, a lot of lace, a lot of garters, a lot of what do you call corsets?
Yes.
It's even in their windows right now. If I don't know if it's still open in Hollywood anymore, but I remember walking past there and it's filthy in the windows. It's like, dang,
All
you
right.
put that out here in public. That's good.
Scott cried.
Yeah,
He
but
looked in the
my
window
my
and
gym was upstairs.
He
I
wept
have.
openly on the street.
Said a prayer. All right. No, we're not lighting up gamers this morning. I'm all about it.
Play your
I'm
games,
okay
man.
with it. Play.
Yeah.
Yeah, play your games.
Yeah,
Do
don't
it.
get things done. Go ahead.
I wish I had. I mean, once I go in hard. Like I'll get a game and I'm a completist. So if I get one, I have to play it. So I just have to be. I can't have everything. I can't have like I would love to play. I want to play Red Dead Redemption. Haven't played it. I want
Yeah,
to
it's
play
fun.
Ghosts of Tsushima. Is that right?
I was trying to make my
I heard
way
that game
through
rules.
God of War with my boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm right. What I wish I had more time to do it.
It's just an investment, man. It's a time investment.
Hey.
It's not like Pitfall.
It's so funny. We were talking about the anxiety.
Dude, I watched this yesterday, and
Dude,
this is true.
I did too. It's crazy. So we were talking about the anxiety that I had, and most people have with like Call of Duty and different things. But it ain't that different than Mario 3, that one level where you're
It was like the
flying
bonus
around.
level.
Yeah,
Just scrolling and you're trying to jump on the blocks and
yeah. So somebody put out this TikTok or whatever, and
And
it
then
is,
the music's like.
yeah.
nerd. Am I right, Learn?
Yes.
Did you look up what running a train
Me
is?
too, guys.
Again, this computer has so much filth on it. Running a train. Meaning.
Way cooler than video games.
And we are here when multiple men have sex with a woman, one after the other, with or without consent. Oh my God.
Whoa! I didn't know
that part.
I learned
Way
that
to
too.
take it
I
there.
take back my running a train.
We warned you.
What a weird time to bring in that audio clue. Hey! Running a train. Hey, Team Riz, member of the day.
I try to get out of it, man.